A young man sat, watching the sun set. It was a sunny day moving into a chilly night. The man stood, looking into the horizon, seeing something move. Around his little oasis, it was a huge desert. Small creatures swam through the sand, perfect for cooking, and their bones made for sharp, sturdy daggers. Cedric waited for it to get slightly darker before heading out. These sand sharks became more active as the night grew darker, resembling their apparent blindness. They hunted in small packs, looking for any creatures that ventured out at night. Cedric walked at a slow, methodical pace, until he saw a group. He chucked a small stone out into the sand. The shark monsters swarmed it, jumping out of the sand to hit the thing. With extreme precision, Cedric threw kunais at the targets and eliminated them. He stayed out a little longer and came back with 9 heads of these monsters. He went to his small cave and set them down before going to sleep. The next morning he awoke to a roar. Grabbing his weapons, Cedric ran outside to find what happened. On the surface of the desert, he saw a huge area where only a few of the cacti he had seen in the past remained. In addition to the missing cacti, there were bodies thrown on the surface, the shark monsters, and a huge quantity of their blood was everywhere. Cedric ran out into the desert to investigate, careful knowing that the creature who caused this could be nearby. Unable to find anything, he began to walk back, but then a sudden disturbance in the sand below him caught him off guard, and he fell, dropping a few knives in his rock case. The rocks flew a good distance away, then a huge blast of sand shot up from where they were. A large brown wyvern rose out of the sand. 2 horns on its head, a pair of powerful wings, and a club-like tail defined it. Cedric had read about these creatures, Diablos. They were feared by desert explorers, and would hunt with no mercy. This one was young, but it still echoed a terrible roar. It glanced around, its eyes unable to land on Cedric, who had not moved, and was laying under Diablos' head. Seeming satisfied, the beast returned to the ground, burrowing off into the distance. Fearing for his life, Cedric slowly got up, careful to not disturb the beast, and walked to the oasis, where he figured it hopefully could not harm him. He was ill-prepared for a fight against a Diablos, even a small one, and he inched closer to the oasis. Diablos didn't strike by the time he had made it back, and he went to his armory to get the weapons needed to kill one, or at least make it flee. Armed with knives and 2 shining, cold metal blades, he set out to lure Diablos out of hiding. He tossed a stone, and the Diablos blasted out of the ground. He clanged the metal blades together and a red light flashed around him. Diablos looked at him and jumped, headfirst into the ground where Cedric was just standing. He moved out of the way, and let his blades slide on Diablos' back, a cold ice released. Diablos came up behind Cedric, but he quickly spun round and tossed an explosive kunai into Diablos' body scales. Diablos turned toward Cedric ready to charge, when the knife exploded and Diablos staggered, and Cedric dashed in, and made the quick slices at Diablos' tail, severing it. The huge wyvern let out a loud roar, before taking another charge at Cedric. This proves a mistake as it got pelted by 5 more explosive kunais, and it fell over, slain. Cedric didn't waste any time. If one Diablos had tried to claim this territory, more from the south would. He'd be overrun. Wasting no time, Cedric took the scales and created a basic plate armor, with 2 horns jutting up from the shoulders, and a helmet with 2 menacing horns. He took the remaining parts, and used them to create a powerful and sturdy greatsword he could swing with. They took some small fangs, strung them on a chain and hung it round his neck. 2 more roars sounded from the south, and he could hear the Diablos were approaching, so he packed what he could, and set off to journey to the north. The talisman he crafted energized him, and he started a sprint, tirelessly running north, hoping to find civilization.